In this video, I'm going to show you how to test for abdominal separation, also known as diastasis recti. And I know it can be a little confusing, but I want you to go through this and test with me. So in order to get down on the ground, we want to first try to connect as best as we can. And then we're going to go from our side, right? So our core is lightly on, and then onto our back, just to help to minimize any additional abdominal stress that we don't need to be putting on our core right yet. So you're gonna lay on down, and I want your feet just about hip width apart here. We wanna think about relaxing the hips. Think about holding a water glass right here on your low belly. You don't wanna spill it as you go to move. And then I want you to exhale, lightly connect, zipping up pelvic floor, lower belly, lengthening through the top of your head, feeling a light wrapping around your ribs. Good, lightly holding it, and then on your next exhale, we're gonna flex up, pulling up with your rib cage, not with your neck. And then when you come up, make sure that you avoid this happening. We don't wanna tuck here. We wanna try to stay neutral as best as we can. And then from here, we're gonna take our fingers and then slowly palpate all the way down, noticing where you might feel an area that feels a little bit extra squishy, or where you may feel that you can press a little bit more down into your abdominal cavity. And then from here, I'm gonna have you go ahead and release. Try to keep a light connection here. And then we're gonna do it again. And flex up. And then now this time, notice where you felt maybe a little bit of squishiness. We're gonna take our palms and we're gonna go out this direction and slowly palpate down, noticing where you might feel the separation and kind of measuring how much separation is there. And also note that we ideally want to feel a good solid connection where there's not much separation and we can really feel strong through there, and that will come with time. So again, typically it's above the belly button where you're going to feel more separation. And then again, ideally one finger width is normal. Okay, so from there I want you to release, and then I'm going to show you a little bit with me. So I have a little bit of spreading from above the belly button that I had from my third, but I have good fascial connection. So when I push here, it's a little springy, it bounces back, but I cannot push my hand all the way into my abdominal cavity. And that is something that we definitely want to work towards, is having good fascial connection. I want you to roll to your side and come on up, right? So when we start moving, especially if you found that you do have separation, even if it's just a small area, it's something that we can really work on, okay? And I know that we get really antsy to want to do a lot of more abdominal exercises, thinking that those ab exercises are going to heal our separation quicker, and that's actually not the case. So I want you to just keep moving through the exercises in this program the way that I've design them for you, again, starting with posture and those type of deep core cueing, because when it comes to really healing and drawing essentially the rectus abdominals, where that separation comes from, right? We want to work at drawing that back together, is we have to work from the inside out. So I encourage you that if you want to do additional exercises for specifically your abdominals, or I prefer to say core, do the exercises throughout the program in the warm-ups and workouts and tutorials that resonate best with your body, because we really want to work at repairing and healing from, think of it as the inside out. And then once that deep core connection starts to come easier, then everything on the outside will start to connect better. And also it can help too if there's any sort of gripping and anything going on, in the hips and in the obliques and the more surface muscles. When we start to bring that focus inward, it can help to allow those to release. And then that's where we think about, we want to really connect from the inside out. And that's also where we get that fascial stimulation from too. Because in your abdominal wall, you have 3 fascial sheaths, which I can guarantee you give your body a lot more strength and stability and support than just the rectus abdominals, which are, think of those 6-pack muscles. So it's super important that it's almost sometimes we have to change our mindset on how we're going to heal our diastasis, and it's not just doing abdominal exercises. And yes, as you progress through the program, you will start to be introduced to some more abdominal exercises, but again, everything stems from that deep core, right? So when we're moving and standing and moving throughout our day, we want to really think about the connection through our core, and that lengthening is key. And if you don't feel it yet, you will start to feel how that connection comes through our core, because again, like I said, those fascial sheaths, that's going to give your body, it also supports your spine, and it's going to help give your belly that flat belly again when we can tap in to more of our fascial system and not think so much about, you know, the more surface abdominal muscles, the rectus abdominals and those outer obliques. So I want you to just keep that in mind as you're moving through the exercises, and I don't want you over testing either. So if you've tested today, that's great. Make a note, you know, on your printout of, okay, where you notice more separation, how did the fascial connection feel for you? Because those little tiny things, as you start to notice progress, when you come back and test, I want you to wait at least 3 weeks before you test again, because we don't want to test too often, right? I don't want you doing too much flexion exercises at all, more than you really have to, just day-to-day life. So again, keeping in that rolling from the side to the back and then side to get up, so that right now we can keep the stress off of those rectus abdominals, and then in time, as everything becomes stronger from the inside out, we will start to incorporate some more flexion down the road. But right now we're really working on that deep core strength. So remember to keep in mind, whenever we're getting up and down from our ground, from the bed, that we work on that light core connection. And again, just keep working on it, because again, if you don't feel any of that deep core connection today, that doesn't mean in a couple weeks from now, you're not going to start to feel that connection, because you will. It will happen with time and with practice. So as best as we can, we want to keep that connection, that lengthening, go from our side to our back and then roll to our side when we get up, just to help decrease too much intra-abdominal pressure that we don't need right now. We want to try to keep that off of our outer layer of abdominal muscles while we are working to strengthen more of that internal connection and lengthening and stimulating that fascia. So keep up the good work. And again, if you want to add extra abdominal exercises, do the exercises that are in your phase 1 and then 2 as you're moving on, that connect best for you with your core. That might be your hip rolls, your roll downs, and start to change your mindset to where, okay, we're strengthening our core more so than just our abdominals, because everything is connected through our body. And I just want to keep encouraging you, focus one day at a time, because your body will get stronger. We have to create a lot of new amazing habits in order to bring those abdominals back together, and I know that you can do it. So keep up the great work and really just focus one day at a time.